Something's in there.
We gotta get out of here, Leroy.
She's been feeding that thing between the walls again.
Whoa! There must be another way out.
Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs.
Hey guys, Sam here with HorrorMom.com, and I'm super excited today to talk to you about a movie from the past. We're gonna go back to 1991 for The People Under the Stairs. And if you remember, if you saw my Scream 7 review, I mentioned this movie because they brought it up. It was actually one of the questions that Ghostface asked our character over the phone. And there was something in the movie that really made me think of this film, and it has just been on my mind. And then last night I was poking around and I learned something about this film and about possibly something to do in the future with this film. So I was like, we have to get this review out. I want you guys to get a chance to see this film. I think it may come up in the future. I will tell you about that at the end of the video. I promise it's worth the wait. So in The People Under the Stairs, we meet Fool, who has just turned 13 years old. And he tags along to go do a burglary with a couple of criminals at his family's evil landlord's house. And while trying to flee, he meets their daughter Alice and realizes the true horror of what has been going on in this house. This movie just traumatized me as a child. I grew up with this film. I have seen it many, many, many times. When I think about how evil the landlords, which are only known to us as Daddy and Mama, what they were capable of and what they did, and how I must have taken that information in at that age, it was just so impressionable on me. I think I related to the young characters, Fool and Alice, and seeing the danger and the bravery that Fool goes through, and then Alice's character just knowing and learning what she has been exposed to, it just really traumatized me.
All sorts of rumors about what goes on in that house.
The People Under the Stairs is truly a creative masterpiece. It is very, very original. There are so many details about the characters and their lives that we learn as we go through the film. In the very beginning, Fool's sister is giving him a tarot card reading, and it is such an excellent foreshadowing of what is to come in this film and what his character is going to go through and how he will evolve. We learn about Fool's community in the ghetto and how the landlords have been basically bleeding it dry. As soon as someone can't pay their rent, they kick them out. They don't take care of anything. It's not safe. And what they want to do is basically tear everything down and build condos. Which leads me to a couple of the themes in this film that actually were pretty on point. And I think this movie was ahead of its time when it comes to social justice horror. There are themes of racism and elitism, and you know what? Those themes are still relevant today. I think that is why you can connect to this film, because you can see what is going on in our country, and especially the elitism, people with tons of money and just being super greedy and not caring about their community. This movie just watching it and those themes coming up, I was like, this movie was so on target. Wes was so smart. I think that other than the fact that they don't have cell phones and they don't really have computers, this movie is still very current.
You little Judah! It is time to clean house!
Alice is played by A.J. Langer. She has been around for a long time, but I think she does an excellent job, an emotional job as Alice. She is just very believable, and I love the scene when she's in the bathroom with Fool and she's telling him about what has been going on in this house. And it is just so heartbreaking. Alice's fear is real. We can feel it. We can see it in her and the dangers of Mama and Daddy. And it just sets us up for what's to happen. And even she grows in this film. You will see a change in Alice, just like you see a change in Fool. There is a character named Roach. I'm not going to talk about Roach, but I think you will like this character. I love this character. I can remember him as a kid, and I really love Roach. So I hope you guys enjoy him.
Gonna kill you!
And I'm very curious as to what you guys think of Mama and Daddy, because when you meet them, first you're like, oh, they're just kind of jerks and they're odd. And then they're like demented, and then they're just horrifying and evil. Like it just progresses and progresses, and they have some surprises for you that you will see. And I know that you will be shocked by the end of the film just to know how horrible they are. I also think the house is a character in itself. The house and the layout and everything that happens, there's locks and security and traps and the inside of the walls. And just like I mentioned this movie in Scream 7 when they're going through the walls. And the other reason I think this house is a character is because it just escalates the fear of getting caught, the danger. This house, like I said, there's traps, but there's also like ways to escape or ways to hide and try to avoid mama and daddy. This house is very memorable, and I think the house plays a huge role in the scariness of it.
I don't want in, I want out. Sometimes in is out.
So is this movie scary? I would say yes, it is scary, but it's not like a slasher jump scare. I think more so it is a horrifying situation that Fool and Alice are in, and what mama and daddy have been up to and what they will do. That is the terrifying part. It's got a lot of intense sequences. I think it's unpredictable. So yes, it is scary, but I don't know that you're going to be jumping out of your seat. It's been so long since I would have had a first viewing of this film, and that part I don't remember if I jump scared, but I know that this movie stuck in my head, not only for all the reasons that I've mentioned, but because it was horrifying. So it is a good scary watch. For a score, I am going to give this movie an 8.5. Wes Craven knocked this out of the park. This movie may be dated, but I really feel like it holds up today. I think it was just brilliant, and it actually even impressed me more so than I had remembered when I rewatched it, just how socially aware it was. And the themes, I'm just even more impressed with it now than I was back in the day. And lastly, the reason why I wanted to get this review out, not only because the movie had been on my mind from Scream 7, but I had been watching a lot of Scream stuff, like documentary type stuff and What You Missed and Secrets of Scream, and just kind of replaying that. Scream's been on my mind. And I heard something that I had forgotten about that Wes Craven had said. When he finished Scream 4, which was the last Scream he was involved in before he got brain cancer and then passed away, he had said this next project was going to be to remake this movie. How great would it have been if he could have done that? So I wanted to look online, and I thought, you know what? This film coming up, it's not just coming up in my brain. I'm sure there's lots of people with Scream 7 referencing it the way that they did with a question on one of the phone calls from Ghostface. And I went and I started looking online, and I found that Jordan Peele had said about a year ago that he was going to remake this film. So am I excited that it would be remade? Absolutely. Am I nervous that someone might kind of mess with it a little? But I definitely would enjoy a revamping of it to make it more jump scary and just even more horrifying with today's standards. But I think this would be fun, and I will just pray that whatever he does, he respects the original and Wes Craven's creation, because it is truly a masterpiece.
There must be another way out.
Can't get out. No one ever has.
You can find The People Under the Stairs on Amazon Prime for rental right now. It's definitely worth the rental price. I highly recommend this film. If you have never seen The People Under the Stairs, you should definitely go watch this movie. It is a classic. It is one of Wes Craven's best films, in my opinion. It's just one that has stuck with me over the years. I will always love this film. So that is all for me today, but I hope that you guys check this one out. Please let me know in the comments if you've seen it and what you think, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
In every neighborhood, there is one house that adults whisper about, and children cross the street to avoid.
All sorts of rumors about what goes on in that house. The police never took it serious.
What goes on in this house is a sin, but what goes on under the stairs is a nightmare. Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs.